Good morning, it's Crazy Cat Lady Diamond Painting. I worked on this for about an hour yesterday. I didn't start my gems flow thing, but right now I'm bothered by that. Let me get my tweezers. I wasn't going to do a video today. I was just going to do this for a little bit because I'm seriously running late right now. It's 7:30 and my birds are already squawking to be let out. But I just started doing this and I'm like, okay, let me work on the O's. I paid $120 for this. And I've already referred to all of the problems I'm having over the how dark the faces are, our skin tones, considering how light skinned we are. I start going to do these O's. I just had to get into my stash. Luckily, I've saved some of my 3865, which is the O, because I just went into what I have left of all of these to finish this off and had no more of these. And I'm like, okay, I may have had enough to do this portion right here, but I have, this is all O's, all across here, all across here. All of this is O's, and I had no more. I wish I would have taken video of that before I dumped this. This right now has only got that. It was already up to the top. It was all the way to the top with these. I'm so glad I had some from other paintings that I've done. I'm like, overall, I'm just gonna have to say it. Dreamer Designs has some really pretty paintings and everything, but I would not go to them for anything you want custom made, especially if it's people. And now knowing that there weren't even enough of these in here to finish this painting, I am seriously disappointed with this company, especially after the back and forth that I did with them that ended up being well, go to our, if you need more help, go to our group, finish the whole thing and see how it looks afterward. And then if you still don't like it, then you can come back to us and we'll discuss what we can do. Right now, with me not even remembering to put all of my hours into this gems flow. Let me go into this, add hours. I'm going, yeah, actually, yeah, it would be 7:30 because I just started. Well, let's say 7:15 since I've been chinsing out on these to begin with. I put in 40 hours, 40 minutes in May, 51 hours, 57 minutes in June, which is 52 hours. So I've put 90 hours in the last 2 months, and I'm already 13 hours and 15 minutes in for this month. So I'm going to do about 80 to 100 hours getting this thing finished. Don't even know if I'm going to like it. Didn't have enough of these to finish. And let me look at it through this. There's my cousin's face. They're gonna be so freaking disappointed. I'm like ready to cry now because the further I go along in this, the more upset I get. Look at that. But let me continue on with this so that I can get pictures and video and everything. And put it in the group and send it to them because, I don't know what I'm talking about and it'll probably look fine later on. It's just that the picture of them is in shadow, which I've already showed you guys. They were not that color in the picture. They were my color in the picture. There wasn't enough shadow to put them to where getting hot. I was fine until I went to do these O's and I didn't have enough drills. And now I'm like, okay, for $120, I am now contributing to the drills because I wasn't given enough. So I'm like, I really want to get up, unroll this sucker on my kitchen floor, get more pictures of it, and send it to them again to show them. Now that I'm 90 hours into this sucker, I'm getting hot now. Old lady thing, get emotional about stuff and have a hot flash. Yeah, I definitely, Dreamer Designs, if you want a custom painting done with people, I would definitely not choose them. I would go to somebody else because they cannot do skin tones, obviously. And as of this point, now let's see how many other drills I run out of and end up not being able to finish. Like ticks me off. Now I've dumped a half a bottle of these things. So a good 1,000 of these short. And that's so far. But other than that, wished my brother a happy birthday and told him I can't wait for us to celebrate the birthday that we thought he wasn't going to have. We didn't think he was going to make it because literally the doctors told him he was not going to make it to his next birthday. I know, guys, hold on. And he's keep doing his little baby squeaking. So I gotta get up and make them breakfast and get them all up. You have the guys from Erie something, I think Erie Homes or something like that. It's coming to redo their estimate to give me the estimate for the roof that I said I wanted. I picked I picked like 5 roofing companies to come and give me estimates, and I picked all of them because they said online that they did metal roof, and I wanted metal roof. And every last one of them, except for I think 2 of them, told me the metal roof cost. The one said if they find any bad wood, it would be additional, which the other 2 of the companies said that they are not estimates. That is what the cost is going to be. And if they run into anything over that, that is on them. They do not give one cost and then start charging other things, and that really spoke to me because I was in a relationship with someone who was a painter, and then he was an electrician, then he was a master electrician, and he was actually a malignant narcissist and a sociopath. He would just latch on to somebody, and whatever the person was, he would claim that's what he was. But he would go and give people painting estimates and tell them they needed to give him 50% down because that 50% would cover the materials. But then he would start drinking and going to strip clubs and doing drugs and picking up other women at the bars and just out partying it up. And then he would start making up excuses. He found this, he found that. He needed more money, he needed more money, and he would gouge these people. He would come in with the lowest estimate, and then by the time he was done racking up all these extra fees to get money out of people as he was going along so that he had booze and drug money, by the end, they would be paying more than what the highest estimates of the really good companies. So I'm like, yeah, I know what to look for in a scammer, and I am not up for it. Not as far as these things go. I'm new at it. I didn't expect this, but let me not get any more upset than I already am because I need to get some sleep so that the company that I've pretty much chosen can come here and give me the estimate. Like, even though they did do the thing where they didn't give me the estimate for the metal roof, I liked they brought the material that they use, and their underlayment is different. Everybody else has like this paper underlayment that they use, where this company, it's like it's kind of rubberized or something. And he was showing where he took the product, he put a nail in it and then poured water, and you could see no water came through, so the underlayment like closed around the nail, so no, it was completely sealed, the nail hole. At that, no water would get through it, and then he actually pulled the nail back out and poured water on it, and water wouldn't go through it because it sealed itself back up. And I'm like, yeah, I like that. I mean, I know it's going to be a steel roof, so it shouldn't have any leaking, but I like that underlayment, that second layer of protection. So they're the ones I'm going with. They have to get here and give me my estimate so I know what I have to put in, because I'm getting home equity a home equity loan to get it taken care of and get it on there. So I have to know exactly how much it's going to cost, so I know how much I need to ask for the loan. Which I really don't like getting a loan, but we have got to get this roof fixed. There's a leak in the back of the house, and now there's one at the front of the house too. So I'm like, yeah, no, I can't let it go any longer. It's got to get done. And I want metal because I want that 50-year roof. so that it'll last longer than I will. By the time this house needs another roof, I will not be here. So, kinda didn't want to spend this kind of money until after I had both of the cars paid off, but it is what it is. So a couple of the places were like, yeah, not to be rude or anything, but at your age, do you really need a 50-year roof guarantee? I'm like, yeah, my kids are going to be here. I didn't get this house just for me. No, well, it's an apartment building. I'm like, no, after I'm gone, I know my kids have somewhere to live. So at least I know they've got a roof over their heads and I'm gonna get it paid off so that way the only thing there is to worry about is just like the insurance and the property taxes. Both of those trellises are put together. I've got to go out there today and get them trellises. I'll get the grapevines up on the trellises and really need to weed around the strawberries. They're kind of getting drowned out by the weeds. You can barely see. You gotta like dig through it. This thing is just popping all over. Okay. Gotta dig through weeds to be able to see the little strawberry plants. They're growing strawberries though. They've each plant has at least a couple strawberries on them. I'm like, all right, cool. I picked a couple of the blackberries because the blackberries do these little clumps on the ends of the things, and the middle one of each one, all the ones around aren't ready, but the ones at the end, each one has the one blackberry at the end of the thing is done. So they are tasty, so much better than store bought. Hmm. Wait, I'll wait. Do some F's. Let's see here. Alrighty now, alrighty. Oh my goodness. Now that needs to get out of my way. Okay, where is F? I must have rolled right on past it. Well, big hurry. Trying to get done. Of course, now I see one of the one I just put away. And of course, by the time I track it down, I won't be able to find the one that I just saw. I already, right there. Okay. Let me find them. I don't know. Feeling, I must be tired because I'm feeling like mopey and stuff. I put new pictures of me and my cousin up on my Facebook profile and just, I don't know. Oh, got me into the gloomy doomies. But I don't know, earlier this week I had a dream about my uncle, who was more of a big brother to me. He died, he was 61. He was only he was like I think 4 years older than my cousin, 5 years older than me, and we all grew up together at Grammy's house, and we were just like more like brothers and sisters than cousins and uncles. Jack didn't take care of himself. I just saw as soon as he got the diabetes and was acting like it was a joke, I knew he was in trouble, but he acted like he thought so highly of himself. I just always figured he would take care of himself and just not let himself die and not let sugar kill him. But silly me, he sure shit did. But then Vicky too. I started, I don't know. I need to not dwell on it because then I'm just gonna start getting upset. I expected everybody to take care of themselves, and expected us to all grow old together and be old farts hanging out, and now here I am. Got no one but cousins that are two cousins that I've completely disowned, but cousins all out in Arizona and stuff like that. Arizona and California, and my little brother. I've got one, my younger brother is in New York, and then my youngest, who survived, which is freaking awesome. Guess I'll do these. I'm gonna have to start seeing what the heck. I was always saying he's into the Red Wings, which is hockey. After a while, I was like, if there was a sport I could get into, because my cousin and my uncle, they were, and my aunt and everybody's into the football, and I'm like, eh. They're always trying to get me to pick a team, and I'm like, I don't, I don't watch the sports ball. I never have. I'm not like you guys. It's okay. I'm cool with it. I watched the Puppy Bowl when they watched the Super Bowl. But with him liking the Red Wings, I'm like, I could get into some Red Wings and start going to hockey games. I could get into that now. Vicky was into football and basketball. She played basketball in high school. She was the sporty one. I was the animal loving one, the over emotional, sensitive one. I don't know. I could probably after the summer and stuff like that, when we go to the drive-ins and the movies and all that stuff, I could get him to start coming so at least we get a little bit closer. Because I was like, when he was growing up, I babysat him all the time until I lost my mind and just went bonkers and just started running the streets with my girlfriend Cheryl. Well, first it was Tammy. Tammy died. way back when. It was years ago, like around the time I had my first daughter. But my other girlfriend's still alive and kicking. I need to start doing things with her. It's just so hard right now with all the stuff that I have to do with working and everything. Although I start I work on the house so much, I'm like, well, once I start getting things together with this house, I'll have more time. But right now I've got so much stuff to work on the inside and the outside. I'm just like, yeah, I need to start keeping in touch with other people now that I've lost her. I always took for granted she would be here. And we'd have each other to grow old with. Now I'm just kind of lost. I know my brother, both of my brothers, once they lose their dads, they're going to be lost and flailing too. So my younger brother, he was in a long-term late relationship, but they broke up and he's just there with his dad. He doesn't have a whole lot of friends or anything, just relatives and everything. I don't know what he's going to do with himself once his dad's gone. And my youngest brother, he's living with his dad. I'm like, yeah, we need to start closing ranks now because just seem to be losing a whole lot of people lately. My aunt that moved to Arizona, she had 6 kids, and all the youngest ones have died. She lost her youngest before she died. And then my cousin Nikki died not long ago, and then my cousin Loopy too. So all we've got left now with them is Lance, and he's an alcoholic, so is my younger brother. So we don't know how much longer he's even going to be with us. My one cousin Ben, he did really well for himself. He he's a jet setter. He's all over the place for the company he's at. I thought he was the CEO. Everybody was saying he was the CEO, but I think he was, but now he's saying he's not. He goes around the country and gives like inspirational speeches for him, just talks to everybody and gets them like, I'm too tired to think of words. He just does like pep talk kind of things to like rally them up for the company that they work for and everything. He's doing really well. My other cousin, I don't think she's still in Arizona. She's either still in Arizona or she went to Colorado. She was doing, she's done a lot of, because she likes to bake. So she had a bakery and she got into this place. I, they do a lot of Mexican cooking. Their dad was Mexican, so she got into this thing. They're doing traditional Mexican recipes and teaching people how to cook the stuff and everything and how to grinding the corn to make tortillas and stuff like that, making the masa and all of that, and teaching them to make different traditional Mexican recipes and meals and stuff. So it's really cool. And I think she's in a relationship now with the guy that's getting the stuff going. So fingers crossed she found a good one and she'll be happy with him. The ones that I cut out of my life are our cousins from Alaska who all of a sudden my cousin Sue started coming down in the summers and staying with my cousin Vicky in the summers for like a few years, and then last year she just didn't leave. And Vicky always said she didn't want to live with anybody. She's like, nope, I like being able to come and go as I please. I don't have to worry about who's in my house. I have everything the way I like it. It's nice and quiet and peaceful here. If I want to see anybody, I can just leave, go see people. I'm happy with being by myself and how it is and how I have everything. I'm fine. And then all of a sudden, Cousin Sue's living with her, and I wish I would have discussed it with her and asked her what was going on. She said she had told her that okay, I guess you can live here with me because she didn't this girl was in Alaska, then she was in Nebraska with her son, that they went down to Florida, and then she moves up here with her. And if I had known she was living there with my cousin for a year, I thought she was helping with bills and that everything was great there. It was not, and she was not. Vicky was working her way to, she was getting ready to put her out. She was done with her. She said all she does, she's like, she is the whiniest bitch I've ever met in my life. She's all she does is everything, poor me, I'm so sick. Oh, me, and all of this stuff, whining and crying. And her cute little daughter that I thought was just adorable. I loved her so much. I don't even, her name's Nicole, but she wanted to be called Ash, and my daughter is Abigail. She likes to be called Kara, so I'm fine with that. My other cousin is Brittany, and she goes by Persephone, so I'm like, okay, I'm all fine with that and everything, but I don't know. My cousin Vicky was the coolest person you could ever meet. She'd be mad at you, but she'll turn around and be fine and stuff. And it takes a lot to get her riled up. And she said that little girl said Ash is a fucking cunt. She didn't want her there to begin with. She told Sue that it was fine if for Sue to live there with her, but that was it. And then Ash lost her job at the pet store she was working at, and suddenly for some reason couldn't keep living there with her brother and needed to come here and live with my cousin too. And then I find out, I'm like, this whole time they hadn't been paying any bills or anything. So Vicky had them living there with her for a year, paying all their bills for them and everything, feeding them. I was like, at least they're like cooking and cleaning and stuff. And Vicky's friends like, no, no, she threw a fit. She would have to go. She's working 12-hour shifts, 7 days a week, comes home, has to cook dinner, cleaning up after them. The place is a pigsty all the time. They're driving her freaking crazy because my cousin is a neat freak. That's why it was just her and her dog. And she's like, yep, everything's the way I want it. Everything stays nice and clean and stuff. And when I found out what was going on after all of this came down and she died, and they're saying how, oh yeah, they're taking great. She had been sick, and they're like, Oh, yeah, Ash loves to help. Ash loves to help. She's taking really good care of her dog. And oh, yeah, they're doing all that. They weren't cooking, they weren't cleaning. They almost starved her dog to death. I had to go and snatch her dog up out of the house. And right then, I just told him, I was like, you all need to get the fuck out of here. I'm like, you know what? You all need to leave. You all need to go. Screw that. As soon as I found out, I was like, my cousin, the day before Vicky died, I know this is probably just all over the place. The day before Vicky died, she went on Facebook and she said, oh my God, my water is off. And Sue says, oh, what? Oh, if you need me, if you need money from me, just message me and I'll give it to you. And I'm like, what the fuck is that shit? Why wouldn't you just be like, you know what, you're sick and everything. Yeah, I've got it. I'll send it in. Just let me know who to call. Because Vicky dies the next day. I'm being told, I'm like, so how's Butter? What's going on with Butter now? Because I'm like, all right, they've been telling me, we've been asking, how's Vicky? How's Vicky? How's Vicky? And there's, oh, she's doing fine. Ash is taking great care of her. Ash just loves to help and all this stuff. Then find out she's dead. Then, 3 days after she dies, and we're asking about Butter. I'm like, how's Butter? Is Butter, do I need to go get her? Oh, no, Ash is taking great care of her. Just taking great care of her. She's taking her out, giving her food and water and everything. And then she said, she's like, I had thought that my cousin Vicky had had 2 strokes. I thought she had only had 1 stroke. She had had 2 strokes. And we thought that when she went on Facebook and was saying her water was shut off, that she was having a stroke and she couldn't think of the words and she was asking for help. But it was coming out that the water was off. Well, no, 3 days later, Sue says, okay, well, the water's still off. What are we going to do about that? And I'm like, wait, what? The water's really off? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, so the water's been shut off for 3 days and you're just now worried about it? And right there, I'm like, if the water's been off for 3 days, what has what has Butter, her dog's name was Butter. I'm like, so what has Butter been, what have you guys been, what have you guys been giving Butter to drink for 3 days if there's no water in that house? And then I'm sitting there, I'm like, you don't, and then I'm like, and food, and she's like, oh no, my son, her son came into town after Vicky died and was supposedly staying there, but then she said, no, her son's not staying there. Her son's staying at a hotel. And then I found out her son's a drug dealer. And then I found out that somehow he knows people here and he's been running around partying and hasn't been at the house. And then they've all been, while my cousin's laying there dead, they're at the hospital seeing their mom Sue all day and leaving her there alone and leaving the dog there alone. And she's like, I'm like, so I was like, so what is this? She's like, no, she's had food and water. When my son went and bought her food when he got here, I'm like, so how long was the dog out of food? So what I'm like, you know what exactly in the hell is going on at that in this house at this I'm like, something's not right. I'm like, you know what? No. I'm going to get butter. And everybody's like, no, no, because she had cancer at Christmas. My cousin had told me, Vicky told me she had cancer, so we knew, and I guess it was an aggressive one. By the time she found out she had cancer in her shoulder, she had a lump, and she took her in there, found out it was cancer, and within a month it had metastasized to her lungs. So she was an older dog, she didn't have a long time to live. But so everybody's going, no, just leave her in that house that she knows she's dying. Because, well, the whole, let me back up. What got me looking, I was like, how's butter doing? And they're like, oh, she's fine, oh, they're taking her out, letting her go to the bathroom and making sure she has food and water again. I had asked in the morning how Butter was doing. Butter's fine. She's doing just great. Ash is taking great care of her. Within 3 hours, she says, Butter's really bad. She's down. She can't stand anymore. And I'm like, what? And that's when I was like, what do you mean? And then the water shut off. The dog can't walk anymore. I'm like, how does the dog? I'm like, so you just told me just a few hours ago the dog was fine. Now she can't walk within 2 hours. What exactly is going on in that house? And she's like, no, she was fine. It's just now. It's just now. And they're like, she's old. She's got cancer. I'm like, no, you don't understand. I'm like, you probably don't know this about me, but I worked at the emergency vet clinic here for 6 years. I'm a vet tech. Uh, a dog doesn't go from fine to can't stand up in hours. I'm like, what did you guys, and then she's like, oh yeah, he got her food and they've been getting her. I'm like, got her food. So how long was she without food? Oh no, she wasn't without food. I got there. They had not, she couldn't walk anymore on her own. And they're saying she's getting up and walking. No, no, she absolutely was not. She could not get food and water by herself. They were leaving that dog lay on the floor and starve to death. We picked her up. I picked her up. I put her in the car. I said, you know what? I'm taking the dog. I'm like, she's coming to the house with me, and I don't care where. They're saying, oh well, her brother Rick. They're like, oh, Richard is leaving tomorrow. He's leaving town, and it's gonna just be her. So she needs the water turned on there and all this stuff. I'm like, I said, you know what? He's leaving. When he leaves, you need to pack your stuff and you need to go with them. You need to get out of this house. I'm like, I was seeing right. I was like, you know what? You all need to leave, and I never need to. I need to never see any of you again. I walked in that house and it was just destroyed. You could see the papers and stuff all over the place where they're just going through all of her stuff. I'm like, man, nah. Then I found out they weren't paying any bills the whole time they were there. They weren't cooking or cleaning or anything. And I was like, nah. Y'all, now that I'm like, man, you guys are so, oh man. I'm like, I stayed there for 3 months with my kids. She came home from work. She had a hot dinner on the stove for her. The the dishes were done. Anything that needed done around the house, we mowed the lawn. Any kind of anything needed done in that house, we did it. Because we were staying there with her and we weren't working. We were trying to find a house. I'm like, she was taking care of everything, paying all the bills. I made sure I did everything for her. She would come home. She'd take, go out front with butter. She'd sit on her porch. She wasn't supposed to be drinking. Well, I thought she wasn't supposed to be drinking. She was always telling me not to tell her mom and dad that she was drinking, not to say anything to them because they didn't know she was drinking. I'm like, man, screw that. She'd go out on the porch, she'd have her beer after work, she'd sit there with her dog, let her roam around and everything, just relax for a little while, come in, eat her dinner, well, take a bath, eat her dinner, and go to bed. She did not have to lift a finger for anything. I did her laundry for her, folded it, put it in there on her bed in her room. When we first got there, she was like, "Oh, you guys should take my bedroom. My bedroom's bigger and my bed and all this stuff," instead of the room she had set up for our Grammy just had a single bed in it. She's like, "There's just me. You guys take the bigger." I'm like, "No, Vicky, this is your house. You will sleep in your bed." Well, she did the same thing for them. Oh, they took her up on it. They were in her room, had her all packed up in this little room. Her room was destroyed. The room they were staying in, it was there. I've never seen her house look so fucking bad as what I did when I went. I'm getting all riled up. I'm not gonna be able to sleep. But I told them they had to go, and I had been letting her use my car. I've got two cars. I've got a little one and a big one, so I was letting her use the little one so she could get around. And so when I was on my way to pick up butter, I was like, yeah. And by the way, I was like, yeah, Dustin wants his car back, my son. I was like, it's his car for him to learn to drive in and everything. I was like, yeah. And while we're here, we're taking the car too. So they're like, oh, let us use the car. It's Richard's last day. Please let us just use the car. And even going into my aunt on here, Paula, she has brain damage from when she was a little kid. She had an ear infection and it got so bad that it caused brain damage. She had to have tubes put in her ears and everything. And she's got a very good heart. She's very naive. So of course they start going in on her and she's like, "Oh, let them use the car. Let them use the car." I'm like, "Nope. Nope. They can walk. They want. I don't give a shit what they do, but no." So they asked if they could use Vicky's truck. She had just gotten this truck because last June she uh she had a GMC. It was really nice. She loved it. She was on her way to work and got T-boned at an intersection by a semi. Ended up in the hospital over that. And she had just gotten this truck. So they're asking my uncle, well, asking my aunt. She's like, "Oh no, you can't take the truck. They're asking to use the truck. Just let them use the car." I'm like, "No, no." So finally, my uncle was like, he's like, "I'll tell you what. Yep, you can use her truck. You can use her truck. Pack all your stuff into the truck and take it to where Sue is." Because Sue ended up, she's in a nursing home. That was a whole thing too. Uh, Take all you guys' stuff out of that house and take it to where Sue is. You can use the truck, but you're going to take it to get all your stuff out of that house and go and don't come back. So I didn't know. I was on my way there to put them out. I didn't know what it all happened. I knew that he was leaving town and I wanted to make sure that he took Ash with him. So we're trying to all get there before he leaves because I'm like, yeah, they are going to take anything that's worth anything in that house with them, and they're going to steal her truck. So we got there, thought the truck was stolen. Vicky's best friend called the police to meet us there. By the time I get there, the police are there. We got we called the police, and then I called Paul and Larry, and they're like, yeah, they explained, yeah, we told him that he could use the truck and that he needed to pack all their stuff in the back of it and use it to take all their stuff out of that house, then drop it off, leave the keys, and go. And haven't seen him since that. But yeah, her dog. I brought butter to my house. I grabbed all her food and everything, and I knew it. We put her in the back of the car, and I get Fresh Pet for my dogs, and so did Vicky. She had a log of its refrigerated food. You can get it at Walmart, and you just cut it up into cubes for them and everything. But I put her in the back of the car. I put her dry food back there, and you grabbed the Fresh Pet, and I'm putting it over her head, and her head just went up sniffing it the whole way. I'm like, she's hungry. She's hungry. She was laying there. They had her wedged between the couch and the ottoman to where she couldn't get in and out of there by herself if she tried, because she's old and weak. She needed to be moved. They set up her food and water across the room, and it was like you could see it was staged. It was like perfectly brand new, everything sitting there. It's like even if they had said it, I mean, you've been gone all day and you come back and that dog hasn't touched her food or water, and it doesn't cross your mind that maybe she needs help. Well, I got her back here, set her up over here me, and set her up over here by me for the weekend. I could tell she was sick. She was almost out of her pain meds, and when I went and picked her up, she did not even look like her. It did not look like butter. She was just so wasted and just probably dehydration. She was just all sunken. Her eyes were all just. It was unimaginable. It didn't look like the same dog. She looked fine by the weekend that she spent here. She got we had made spaghetti. I gave her spaghetti. I gave her meatballs. I gave her garlic bread. I gave her food. I gave her dry food and with her medications and everything. I had my son carry her outside every 4 hours. It took, when we first got here, she crouched and tried to pee and only 3 drops came out. Every 4 hours, I had my son take her out there to give her a chance to try to go pee. It took 12 hours before anything even came out of this dog. They had let her just lay there and just not giving her food or water and was just going to lay there and just let her die. It was the entire situation was just so gross. So that is some of the story of why I've completely disowned them. And then, oh my God, and then she's online begging people for money and saying, oh, God bless, she's all religious and all this, talking all this religious and all this stuff online. In the meantime, we're like, she was there for a year. Vicky didn't have her paying any bills. They're both on Social Security. They're getting checks. Where's their money going? Well, she gets high. She smokes weed. The car, oh my God. I got my little car back. Wow, it's only been like a month. It took a good 4 months for the weed smell in that car to go away. She talking all this game about how she's all religious and church going and stuff. Don't go to church. Smokes weed. while she's super sick and she's got COPD, but smoking weed, drinking, had a bottle of whiskey and a case of beer at Vicky's. I'm just the hypocrisy of them. And then Vicky dies. Vicky's dead. Our cousin Jimmy, Sue's brother, is posting on his page, "Oh, all my prayer warriors, I need you all to pray for Sue because of all the things that are going on in her life and all of the trauma that's going on. She needs to concentrate on herself to heal." And all of this that I went off on his page, I went off on her page. I put it on blast. I was posting everything, all the bullshit, the lies, the hypocrisy. I put them on blast. I threw it all out there. I'm like, you know what? Nah, you ain't getting away with it here. And she's like, "Oh, I need money for my medical bills." I'm like, you get government medical. You're not paying any bills. What do you need money for? She's trying to get $4,000. My uncle, that was more like a big brother to me, Jack, had said, didn't want her anywhere. He's like, I'll kill her. I ever see her again. He's like, you better not ever come back into town. She's a nasty ass bitch. She's a she sold her oldest daughter to a couple for drug money as like $4,000. Charge $4,000, and then I'm like, it's awful funny. She's asking for $4,000 on her GoFundMe. Charged $4,000 for her daughter. Sold her daughter to some people for drug money. Then my mom's like, "Oh no, it wasn't 4,000. It was 10." I'm like, "Oh, that makes it better." I'm like, I always thought Jack was just being an asshole about her and everything because she gave her daughter away. Oh no. As soon as I looked at it, as soon as all this stuff went down, I was like, yep, he was right. He was right. I wish he was alive so I could tell him. He was right. But I don't know. But yeah, her brother, our cousin Jimmy, private messaged me and then blocked me because he's a big man, saying he doesn't I better I'm he don't want me posting stuff on his page. He doesn't want anybody that knows him seeing what white trash our family is and all this stuff. I'm like, oh, I yes, I went to respond to it and I was like, oh, yes, of course, the big man went and talked a mean game about how we're white trash and then blocks me. It's like, yeah, we're white trash. Your sister has been here living off of this scamming ass fucking cunt, has been here living off of Vicky for a year. We're white trash, huh? You need to look in the mirror and at your sister. And then I'm like, my my Aunt Paula's like, "Oh, I don't know what she's still worried about. She killed Vicky." And oh, I don't know what she's gonna do. Was starving Vicky's dog to death. I'm so worried about her. Where's she gonna go? What's she gonna do? I'm like, I don't care. Why do you care? She's still our family. I'm like, man, Paula, I'm like, Well, why doesn't her brother so worried about her and everything? Why isn't she living with him? And they're all that she's looking. She said, "Well, I don't know." I'm like, yeah, she can go live off of him for a while since he's so worried about her, how much he loved, and then all the prayer warriors can gather around her while she's smoking weed with COPD, drinking whiskey. She's so religious. I'm like, man. Well, I don't know what got me on that tangent, but I feel better now. Thank you guys for listening to me ramble. What? I saw a 9 in here, and I was so happy that I found one of my specials, and now I don't see it again. Should put it over that 2. I think I will. It's up in here some. There it is. Only one special color out of all of this, and it's the bleachers behind them. Oh, I tell you. Well, I have really, really rambled an hour. What time? It is now 8:30 in the morning. I need to stop. Okay, guys. Thanks for keeping me some company. I just went bonkers. Let me go get my birds up, make them breakfast. I make them a hand feeding formula that's supposed to be for the baby birds, but I make it thick like peanut butter. The woman that I got cocoa from told me, she's like, yeah, I give that to her for breakfast. She used to put it on a spoon. So Coco will, if you put it on the spoon, she will take the spoon away from you and hold it to her mouth, like, and just sit there and scrape it all off the spoon. I should do that again instead of putting it in bowl. No. I got little condiment cups and I just put some in there, give a little bit to each of them. They eat it out of the cups now. But yeah, they're probably very upset with me right now because I'm super late. I usually get them up by 7. Here it is, 8:30. Okay, get all this stuff put up so my cats stay off of it a little bit. Who's gassy? I bet that's Sarge. Oh man, if he got poo on his fur again, my son had to hold him for me the other night because he's Maine Coon. I have to do it to Phoebe too, my little girl that looks like him. But I have to take a shaver and give them a sanitary shave around their butts because their poo gets stuck in their fur. I hope he didn't do that again because I just shaved his butt like a week ago and he did not appreciate it. But okay, good morning to you guys, most likely. Good morning, good night for me. I'll see you probably tonight, maybe not, because I do have a lot of work to do, but I'll see you when I see you.